One of the things that I think we and other media need to start doing is preparing the American people that there's nothing illegitimate about this election taking additional days or even weeks to make sure that all of the votes are counted. In fact, that might be important to make sure that this is a legitimate and fair election. So we're going to do a bunch of different messaging around that just to make sure that people know that that's normal. So if one of the candidates in any of the races claims victory before there's a consensus result, then we're going to add some informational context to that post directly, saying that there's no consensus result yet. I think that this is important because there is, unfortunately, I think, a heightened risk of civil unrest in the period, between voting and a result being called or after that. And I just think that we need to be doing everything that we can to reduce the chances of violence or civil unrest in the wake of this election.
If that were to happen, would Facebook be blamed in part?
Well, I can't speak to what other people would do, but I think we're trying to make sure that we do our part to make sure that that none of this is organized on Facebook. We want to make sure that none of that stuff is happening on our services. But the country is very charged right now. So I think regardless of what we do, there's some chance that this happens across the country. I just want to make sure that we do our part to not contribute to it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wayne Dupree Show. We are at the end of the week almost, and we are glad to be with you. This week we've seen the first presidential debate, but let me give a shout out before we even get into all that news. And the clip that you just saw is something that we're going to talk about. But let me introduce my co-host, Miss Leah Blue Eyes Bella.
Hello. Yeah, make sure you're sharing the show now before we have this major discussion about crazy Zuckerberg. Just click your share and shout out to Trump Train Magma. They are actually having a watch party right now. So thank you for that.
And then we also have the Bishop, Mr. Brian Smith. What's up, B?
What's going on?
Look at that.
Hey,
Perfect for the yard.
I just want to give a shout out to a great Patreon supporter of the show, loves the show. Connie, thank you so much. Her daughter-in-law hand painted that for her and offered it to me and said, yeah. I said, I'll take it. I'll put it on the show.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Connie. Awesome.
Now some liberal can ruin it in your yard.
Oh, no. That's going in the window. Second floor. Second floor.
Well, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're broadcasting from the Brickhouse. Well, I'm broadcasting from the Brickhouse Studios, somewhere in the bowels of Maryland, and we y'all, I am still not over the debate for some. I'm not. It's just how it all went down. I'm still trying to get over watching how everything went down and how Chris Wallace, as a moderator, created that atmosphere.
Yeah,
he created the atmosphere for that. He allowed it to happen. Okay. Meaning, he created the atmosphere to allow it to happen. And I mean, it just makes us, the United States of America, look so much terrible with how he allowed that to work. I mean, I don't know how you fix it. Do y'all have an idea how you fix it?
I think that the media should not be involved as a moderator. I think it should be someone else, or maybe just a computer that reads the question. I don't know. Maybe just maybe have a smart IBM computer. I can't think of his name. There's an actual computer. They have a name for him. He can read. He can even use inflection in his voice. He can read it, and then he stops and allows the person to speak. And you can't mute them unless their 2 minutes are over. So just because you don't like what he's saying, you can't go and the mute button comes on it. It only stops after 2 minutes. Then when it's open conversation, it stays open for 10 straight minutes, and then the microphones stop. So that way no actual man is behind touching it. I don't think a man or woman or a human being should be able to moderate anymore because we've gone too political with everything. It needs to stop. And honestly, that just all that we got to witness there was live news happening right in front of our faces.
Right. They said that the election board is now reviewing after that situation, reviewing it. And something that Dinesh D'Souza said early this morning, and I'm just going to mention it. It's not my idea. I didn't come up with it. Dinesh did. He's an incredible mind. He said and made the great point that how did we get to this point in time that we are in right now? If you go all the way back to JFK and Nixon, you know, they both had the same end goal in mind about America being good, great, you know, a welfare state, how to get there. And that was the debate. Debate was how to get there, how to get to that point. I got an idea to get there better. I got an idea to get there better. Ronald Reagan and Mondale and the joking around, and the greatest line ever that Ronald Reagan said that I'm not going to use my my opponent's inexperience and age.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
and then he laughed. Right.
And then fast forward till now. Well, now the reason why we can't have a civil conversation or a debate of sorts is because the end goal for America is completely opposite. The Democrats' end goal for America is to be another shithole like Venezuela. That's the truth. They love Hugo Chavez. They love what he did. They love it on Castro. Our good friend Trevor Loudon wrote another great book out, White House Reds, Communist, Socialists, and Security Risks. Why is he's writing a book about our politicians.
And listen to everything that you're saying. It's all human interference. Honestly, we need to go to a computerized moderator who just reads the question and the mute button goes automatically on and off at a timing system with no human interference. That is the only way you make this fair.
Right.
That's it.
I agree.
Okay, so I am not gonna play any. Well,
I've already erased it from my mind. Please no.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. But you know, CNN did call out what's her name, Kamala Harris, for not answering the question, and now they would have went after anybody on the Trump train or a Trump surrogate. But I don't know if y'all got to watch this, but the way that Jake, I mean, it was almost like a softball thing. He did ask her the question, but as a journalist, so-called journalist, he didn't follow up on it.
Selection. There are a number of Democrats in Washington, as you know, who are saying that if Judge Barrett is confirmed and if you and Joe Biden win and the Democrats take back the Senate, then there should be consideration of adding seats to the U.S. Supreme Court. Neither you nor Joe Biden are willing to give a straight answer as to whether or not you're willing to entertain that idea, but it's not some fringe idea. Democrats in Washington are talking about it. Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader in the Senate, has said that he's not taking anything off the table. Is that an idea that you're willing to think about?
We are 35 days away from an election that is probably the most important election of our lifetime and our children's lifetime. And there is nothing about these next 35 days that Joe or I will take for granted. And so the focus right now is on reminding people that we have this election that is very much in play. It is about reminding people that people are voting right now. Almost 1 million people, Jake, in our country have already voted. We are in the midst of an election, and the Republican leader of the Senate, together with Donald Trump, are in the spirit of hypocrisy trying to push through a nominee while the American people are voting. And so Joe has been really clear. Let's focus on what's happening right now. Deal with later. Focus on what's happening right now, which is the American people are voting, and they should be the ones to decide who will have the next lifetime appointment to the United States Supreme Court. Let's not get distracted. Let's be focused on what is right in front of us, because there is a lot at stake in terms of the integrity of our democracy, of our election system, and this process that should take place over the next 35 days.
I will respectfully note that you also declined to answer that question with me, Senator Kamala Harris. I appreciate your time this evening. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you, Jake. Thanks for the question.
All right, yeah. So I don't really understand, Abby, why they won't answer that question. I guess they just feel like...
What?
Now,
You're such a
now
little.
33. 33 days.
She laughs at the fact
33.
it's 35 days out. Why does she think that's so funny?
Why does Jake think it's so funny that she didn't answer the question?
He said,
And he gave her, and he said, yeah.
I respectfully.
Yeah.
Oh, but
He
if it
didn't-
was Trump, you didn't answer the question, you son of a
Right.
biscuit.
Right.
That's what
Right.
Blake says.
But he wouldn't be saying biscuit.
No, he wasn't.
No.
These people are so wretched and they're so awful. It's so incestual that CNN literally is the enemy of the people. There's no other way to put it.
And early voting doesn't justify not putting in a SCOTUS.
Trump's in office till January 20. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's his term.
Let me say this, because actually I just tweeted it and I want people to understand exactly what I'm talking about. I'm seeing more emotional posts on social media than I ever have before. More triggered from our side.
Oh, yeah.
You're being triggered. You're calling the Democrats out for being triggered, but y'all are being triggered. I mean, triggered like I have never seen before. President Trump needs help. He just lost his data guy.
To a bad situation. Right. Right.
President Trump needs help in winning this election. And y'all are worried about some freaking wire.
Oh, they're still talking about that?
Yeah, they still
No.
talking. Yeah. Oh, I got all the pictures on my timeline. You need to come see it. They're worried about that instead of just posting Trump's policy successes.
Mm-hmm.
His Trump doctrine, the one that we were listening to about yesterday from one of the professors in Australia. These people, I don't know when they became liberal, man. I'm not. I mean, and I know y'all, some of you might get angry at me, but I don't know when the conservative movement became liberal like this. With all the stuff that President Trump has done, y'all need to be putting that stuff out if you're using social media like that. Because there's a lot of people that use social media like that.
Yeah, Brian.
Instead of going to knock on doors and waking up your community, they just get on social media.
Well, now they're saying, did you hear Trump last night? He's saying, get out and vote now. He wants you to vote early. Yeah, he's saying, now go vote. If you can vote, vote now.
Yeah. And the thing is, the Republican leaders, they rarely talk about Trump's successes. Am I right? Am I right?
Well, I mean, our congressman, our congressman here, Shabbat. I mean, they're running the ads against Shabbat in the House right now in Cincinnati are everywhere, on the radio, on TV, about the FBI investigating that he paid his son 4 times the amount to build a crappy website and all this money and whatever possibility. They did investigate and they found nothing. But point is, Shabbat ain't out. I don't see Shabbat. Shabbat's got no commercials. What are you doing, Shabbat? Wait, you're not talking about Trump. You're not talking about yourself. You could be out doing commercials saying what you're doing, partnering with Donald Trump. I don't see it.
It's a good point because I got to watch a interview with 3 independent voters who were on the fence. And well, actually, one was conservative, I think. But anyways, and they all 3 said what we heard on debate night was what they've done, but nothing they plan to do.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear what you're going to do going forward.
Vision, right.
And all we heard from Joe was picking on Trump and saying he wasn't for the Green New Deal, but then he said he was.
Right.
And they didn't hear anything what Trump was going to do going forward. It was just a lot of bickering, which we all know that Wallace started. That's what he wanted. Chris Wallace set it up so that way it made Trump look bad. We all know this. But the people on the fence are still yearning. They still want to hear what you're going to do for them. And I'm watching commercials and I see what everybody's done, but not what are you going to do for me later. And I think that Trump can really take advantage of that if he does a really good commercial. I'm waiting for that big blowout commercial or that big blowout speech that he gives.
Right.
And it's going to be there in October. We got to hold our breath for it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the media hasn't learned their lesson from 2016.
No. They doubled down on that.
Right, and neither have Democrats, because
Right.
it's still Trump bad. Instead of substantive direction for the country with plans and layouts and stuff, it's still, you can't vote for him because it's him. It's his personality, the way he tweets. You get
Orange man bad.
You aren't giving the American people anything, while President Trump has, with the economy, with his foreign policy, the only thing that he really hasn't gotten into is infrastructure yet, and that's something that they were supposed to be working on. But
which he's very talented at. So
Right.
I have faith in him that he will get that done too.
Right.
Right.
We got a loyal follower and Patreon, Cheryl, out of Dayton, Ohio. That's all right. A little bit north of Cincinnati. She sent me the article from the Babylon Bee is a joke.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
it
big
is.
time.
It's
joke.
satire, and it's funny. It's good stuff. It's satire. But she sent me the article that Biden, you have to elect me to find out what my policy positions are. And when
That's
you
actually true.
when you read it, it's like,
That's what Nancy Pelosi said about Obamacare. You
Yeah.
have to
Did she
pass
not?
it before. Yeah, you have to pass it before you can know what's in it. That's exactly what Joe's saying.
And that's,
Right.
I mean, that's exactly how they do their their legislation. They don't know what's in these bills. They just put a heartfelt, emotional title on it, and then they run it up the flagpole to their little groups to see if anybody cries when they're handing out cheese sandwiches. So, I mean, the way the way that this country should be run is not on emotion. It should be run on common sense and logic.
Right.
It needs to be run with some people, like individuals, that have a plan. Yes, I know that there is a shadow government. Yes, I do know that it is a deep state. And sooner or later, the light is going to be brought out on them and who they are. Sooner or later, it is. I mean, maybe in the next 4 years, President Trump is going to slip up on purpose and say whatever. But the way the media right now claims that they're your friend. They do. They don't like to be called the enemy of the people because it exposes who they really are. They hate it. So now it looks like they're working together so they can bring down Trump, or at least that's what this guy on CNN was talking about.
I think the biggest crisis that we face right now, the people who like fascism should not be the object of our persuasive energies right now. There are a lot of decent people who may be unwittingly enabling what Jeremy was just describing. And it's important to think about what those folks need to do. So I think for those of us in the media, frankly, whether it's headline writers, whether it's those who decide what to put on TV, whether it's people making decisions about how to frame things, it's very important to understand that this is a decisive break from our past, what Donald Trump is doing right now. This is a frontal assault on the idea that we should elect a president democratically. That is not something any working journalist has, frankly, covered. Even if they were 200 years old. And so it's new rules. And I know folks in the media who are struggling with this. How do we tell this story? How do we not sound like opinion journalism, but frankly, fervently defend the integrity of a process? It's really hard. The old rules don't work. I think we have to think about, Facebook. I have very little hope for a moral redemption or epiphany at Facebook. But if you are a decent person at Facebook somehow, you got to realize you are the new Fox News. You are the Fox News of 2020, except you're wired into people's brains and not just reaching them in their Barca loungers, but reaching them in their pockets at all hours of the day. You need to think about the fact that your platform, which Mark Zuckerberg invented, I think, because he just wanted to meet girls, is now becoming one of the most important sources of muddying the water and spreading disinformation and hate. This is an incredibly dangerous moment. And I think all of us have to ask, whether it's donors, whether it's CEOs who've given money to Republicans just because they wanted a tax cut, a lot of people need to think about the fact that you may be enabling the actual shattering of American democracy.
Gaslighting from a useful idiot right
Can
there.
I just say this? I actually didn't hear a word he said because literally in my mind, that's Lucifer. He literally looked like the devil. He was in a red room painted with sacrificial red. He had a dragon behind him with talons that looked like it was coming after you. I mean, he honestly is my vision of Lucifer. Like, I literally was like, did they just call the devil for an interview? I mean, I'm not even making fun of him.
I've said this a lot of times on my scopes, and I might have said this on the show before, but when you hear somebody speaking truth to you, when you hear somebody and they're laying out X, Y, and Z, and you didn't know that, but it is true, it resonates at a frequency, at a specific frequency that you can hear, and that your intuition recognizes there's truth there. Well, Leah, you just heard that frequency, and it blocked it, and your brain helped you.
I heard him say moral redemption, and I'm like, you're in a red sacrificial red room getting ready to like kill people, and you're talking about that. Yeah, the hair lost me too, but I mean that was just how could the people even say that's putting him on? Hey, you know what? Can you change to a different room? Maybe a room with like a window, some leaves, maybe a picture of a kitten on the wall.
Yeah, we'll do
I mean,
pizza,
you've got
pizza for 1 hour. Yeah.
I
we'll
mean,
do
yeah.
1 hour eating pizza.
You,
Yeah.
No
you
wonder
just
the
made me
Q-
spit on myself.
No wonder the Q folks are going crazy. I mean, literally, that was sacrificial red. When you go to the paint store, they say, here's your sacrificial red, buddy. I mean, you're telling me no one on MSNBC was like, just move to your grandma's kitchen if you have to.
It's comfortable
you can't
for
do
them.
it there.
Yeah.
It's a way of getting that into the kids, to the people, desensitization. That's what all this is about. It's just to desensitize people into understanding, believing, knowing that that's the new norm. Satan in your home.
I was literally waiting for him to like bite the head off a bat. Literally. I mean,
The only
it was
thing
that
missing is
bad.
a pitchfork.
Yeah.
Look,
You have eyeliner on.
if you're on Facebook right now, they are heavily censoring us today. Very heavily censoring us today.
And look, we're not just making this up. I have family members who are like, what's going on? We haven't gotten a notification that the show's on. What's going on? We don't know. It's not allowing some of my family members to even comment. It's nice. I'll tell you, if you're on Facebook right now and you're able to comment on our show or share the show, be thankful, because I have family members that aren't even allowed to comment. It doesn't even give them that opportunity.
Yeah, Connie, one of our great listeners, actually asked me, said, I didn't know you guys were still doing a show. I said, yeah, we're doing a show. Why? So I don't get Facebook notifications. So we physically went to the Wayne Dupree Show page, and it showed she was following, and I clicked the thumb up to like it, but I don't, it's not like YouTube's where you click the bell for notifications. I mean, I don't know.
That's one thing I have to say. You will never hear me give credit to TikTok. Just this one time. Are you ready? Because this is huge. That's one thing I have to say about TikTok is they let you say and do pretty much what you want, and they don't censor you. You want to blow up about Joe? Go ahead. You want to blow up about Trump, China? They don't care. You can keep going for it. You can have 85 million followers. Do what you want. That's about the only thing good about TikTok. I'll never say anything nice about them again. But at least you have the right to say what you want on there.
Right. I am right now. I'm sharing the YouTube link on Facebook, and I usually don't even mess with YouTube like that. But you know what? I do thank those that watch on YouTube though. And you know what? I forgot. Why don't y'all give our awesome platforms a shout out Voila.
Oh yeah, the RT. Thank you, RT.
Yeah.
YouTube,
YouTube,
Facebook.
the Twitters.
Yeah.
Somebody got triggered in the comment section. Said, "Brian, it's not plural." I said, "I know.
Yeah.
I just like doing it."
He's just,
Try it.
it's just
feels
his
good.
thing. Just his thing. The YouTubes, the Facebooks.
Because technically, there's a whole lot of them out there that just copycat. So it really is a plural thing.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. She just shared. Appreciate it, Lisa.
Yeah, awesome.
But Mark
Definitely.
Zuckerberg has become his own entity. He is too big for himself, even to the point where when he wants to start claiming political truths, and the only thing he really did was create a glorified picture box with pictures and videos. I mean, it's nothing great, but he turned it into this called Facebook now and made a lot of money. And now he's what I think, a Democrat plan that they imposed on us to try to manipulate us and to accept the fact that this election is not going to be called until January. And that's completely normal. And everybody has to accept it because he's the boss and he says so.
And a little bit of insight into Zuckerberg, and just kind of because I've been there. When Facebook launched, I was part of a copycat Facebook, if you will. I was part of launching that and part of helping to bring that out to light. And so I was in the back end. I was in the coding part of the back end of that. And I could see all y'all's pictures. I could see all y'all's passwords.
Yeah, he loves that.
Everything that y'all did that you thought was hidden, that you thought wasn't hidden, that nobody could see. I could change your password without you knowing.
God complex, and that's what he has.
Yep,
That's what it is. God
I
complex.
could delete
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
I could delete your profile picture. I could screw with you all day long, and you
Well,
don't
that's what they're
realize it's not you. It's not the computer. It's me on the back end. And again, the little G, he absolutely has a little G God complex because I had to check myself because I started to get that. I didn't want that. That's why I'm no longer a part of any of that stuff. But man, it's bad.
Wow. Yesterday, both of the presidential candidates got out on the trail. Joe Biden is not an emotional wreck, but he is an emotional blueprint for. I mean, I don't think anybody does it better than him. I really don't. In pulling out the emotional part of people's hearts, like Democrats practice all the time. So when he speaks and you hear him, and he starts using those type of, "You don't care nothing about us, y'all, we," then it's like, okay, maybe he's trying to connect with us, but if you really want to understand, or you really want to stay away, you have to realize exactly what he's doing and how he's doing it, and then explain it to your friends and explain to your family. He's playing with you just like they play with you with their legislation, with the titles that they give their legislation. It's really not there to help you. It's there to confuse you.
You're correct. Yeah.
It's there to confuse you and make you feel like they really care about you. And that's why so many minorities and poor white people, poor middle class people vote Democrat, because they feel like the Democrats want to do and are going to do, where the Republicans are like, this is how you do it. Let me show you how to do it so you can do it and show somebody else. You see what I'm saying?
It's interesting because, yes, you're right. He does bring you in emotionally. And if he was a brand new candidate with no record, then I think he would have this on lock just because he is very good at emotion. Okay, if he wasn't running against Trump, because I do think Trump's going to win. But we're not stupid. We know his 47 years in office. We know what he does, and we know he's just lying to us. The way that Hillary lied, the way that Obama lied, Now Joe's doing it again. This is just a rerun of the past 10 years that him and Obama were in office. Joe could have changed a lot of things and he didn't. So when he does that emotional thing now, and he tells me about his wife and daughter that died in a car wreck, it's a shame. But I'm like, Joe, knock it off. You're just using them. You're just using them for this political advancement that you're trying to do because you don't care. Because if you did care, you would have been out there, as he says, as just a regular American citizen right now. Because remember, he said that he didn't call Portland because he's technically not in office. Well, what have you been doing for the last 10 years? You haven't been advocating for people to wear seatbelts. You haven't been advocating for brain tumors. I have seen no money donations towards brain tumors that your son had. But yet all of a sudden, everybody wants to, you're supposed to give Joe a pity party because his son died and his wife died and his daughter died. But he has not talked about them in the last 10 years. He hasn't donated any causes for them. And now he gets out in the basement, hops on the train like a hobo, and is riding the rails. And everybody's just supposed to make a big deal about it.
Right.
Not me. I don't have any compassion. I'm over it because you know what? Your administration has killed more people. You want to talk about Bo and you want to talk about your wife and your daughter? That's fine. But let's talk about all the kids that have died from heroin overdoses because the president of the United States, Obama, at your time, let all the heroin come through the borders. Let's talk about all those dead children.
Don't want to do that. And I, when you're born into this world, the world comes into you. So if you're born into an inner city family, that inner city ideology, those traits, those things that your mom does, if the family's broken, if there's violence in the family, that's what you're taught and you become accustomed to, and you automatically switch to thinking, oh, well, that's normal. That's the way I'm supposed to act. That's the way I'm supposed to be. And since going all the way back to LBJ and the New World Order of sorts, they've absolutely destroyed the families, the black family core. I was at the store the other day and I saw three black women with about 5 or 6 kids, all ranging in age. And 2 of them were smacking the crap out. The kids was just playing. They was teasing and playing with each other. And the parents were just smacking her. And after she smacked her and she stopped doing it, she smacked her again. He said, that's a good cause. I'm like, your impatience with children across the board, patience with it for your children is bullying your child. Your impatience literally imprisons your children to the point to where they break and they start doing it to their friends. They start doing it. Then they grow up and they do it again. We gotta stop this.
So basically, you're saying that's what the Dems are doing to
yes,
the voters. Okay,
and they're playing on that. They're playing on the whole damn thing.
Question is, does he see you where you are and where you want to be? Does he care? Has he tried to walk in your shoes to understand what's going on in your life? Or does he just ignore you and all the folks all over America who are in a similar situation? I think it's more than ignoring us. I look at things from Scranton perspective. He looks at from Park Avenue. I think he basically looks down on us. He judges us. The fact is that I think that when he called our military, and I see we got some veterans here too. Thank you for your service, man. But when he called our veterans who lost their lives and served suckers and losers, I thought it was one of the most despicable things that I've ever heard a president say. Because you are soldiers or a veteran. You served your country like you did Connor, like my son did. And you know, he lies to you. He lies to you about exactly what's happened. Does he lie to you when, like this president did to your husband, that all the workers at the GM plant at Lordstown were going to be in good shape? Remember what he said? You said it, Tiffany. He said, don't move. Don't sell your house because no Ohio factory will shut down in Donald Trump's America. He doesn't pay his fair share. Don't worry about that. He doesn't pay his fair share in taxes. He says that makes him smart. What does that do? But what does that make you, Tiffany? Make me and millions of other hardworking Americans, decent people who pay our taxes. Are we the suckers? Are we stupid because we go by the rules? He's too weak to beat the pandemic, costing more than 200,000 American lives. That's upended every part of our lives and hit working people particularly hard.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out.
Chris
No.
Hayes.
No.
So did you see that his sign fell off? That's a bad omen.
Yeah, that kind of
Just
says what
fell right off.
the campaign. No, this guy is doing exactly what Saul Alinsky said to do. Accuse others of what you're doing. Accuse them. Accuse them first. The first one that calls out liar, liar, pants on fire. The other guy that, oh, or the first one that says, hey, when did you stop beating your wife? Like, whoa, what are you talking about? Oh, now everybody thinks I beat my wife.
I think the most important thing to take from all of that was the fact that he thanked the service members that were in the audience. You know why? Because not only that, but the reason the service members are in the audience is because Trump created peace in the Middle East and burnt out ISIS. That's why these service members are there. If it wasn't for Trump, they would be out there fighting or dead. So Joe got the opportunity to thank them because of Trump. But nobody wants to talk about that.
You know, Biden, if you listen to what he said, again, told you he plays on those emotions. It's us, we have to do this stuff. But he didn't speak about anything that he wanted to do different.
No.
For America in the future. Nothing.
Never does. He never does.
You know, and people say, okay, well, what is Trump talking about? Well, Trump is talking about, what Trump is talking about, he wants to make America great. He wanted to bring back jobs, and he still wants to bring back jobs. He wants to lower prescription drugs. He's already said that. He wants to bring all the troops home. He's already started doing that. He wants to end the wars, or the wars that America should have never been in the first place. Well, not end the wars. Well, well, not only end the wars, but he does want to bring our people home because our people shouldn't have been in those wars in the first place. Right. He wants to fix the economy. He wants to protect the borders. These are things that President Trump comes out and says that he wants to do. And all they can do is like, well, we don't want him in there because of him.
Right. And he plays on the emotions, and everybody's saying that in the chat. Absolutely. And Joe says that he's the ultimate Pied Piper. True. That's just what the Democrat Party has become. The whole party as a whole, in order to vote for them, they have to play the music. They have to get you emotionally charged. Hitler got an entire country so emotionally charged that he tricked them into killing people. And that's what happens when you get somebody so emotionally charged, specifically in anger, in hate, and all that vile stuff. You got them hypnotized to a point to where you can get them to do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. Now, once they've gone so far to the hypnotization, there's some people you just can't reach. Some people that are just so far out, there's no reason left. You can't reason with these people. The logic has been replaced with anger. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could see it in the streets. Go to Portland, try to talk to some of those idiots. It's not possible.
And yesterday, when he was speaking, he heard a train go past. And he, as you know, Joe is very easily, he loses train of thought. So he's like, oh, train. Oh, locomotive. Like a puppy. Oh, look. Yeah. And then he can't get back his train of thought.
He said the word, or he
said, oh, I hear a train. And then he corrected himself and said, oh, that's a conductor or something like that. But anyways, and then he kind of got off subject and didn't know where he was going with it and got lost. And I think that Trump missed that opportunity on the debate night. He could have let Joe talk more, like what you were saying, Wayne, but we don't know because Chris maybe would have interrupted and saved Joe. But what I can tell you is the next debate is a town hall style. Again, no talking points will be there. There won't be a screen in front of them. So Joe's going to have to start rambling, and hopefully he can go off subject. If one person's cell phone rings in the audience or he hears Trump cough, he might up. So that's why I think now that Biden's starting to come out and say, well, maybe we don't do another debate.
Right.
That's going to be a tough one, especially with people, the town hall style, people asking questions versus
Right.
Chris Wallace.
And all I can tell you is when you give Joe the floor, that's where he messes up. So give him the floor, because the more he talks, the more he screws up. But yeah, if he doesn't have a teleprompter.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
That's fine. I still think that's where he shines, because that's where, like,
when he's reading a teleprompter.
No, well, that's a.
Okay, so when he's in his basement and he's making all these gaffes, what would you consider that?
That's when the teleprompter is there.
Yes, but the DNC, he read directly from a teleprompter and did great.
But
his problem is when they stop the teleprompter and they ask him a random question. Remember when he said, "You ain't black"? That wasn't on the teleprompter.
Well, okay.
When you give him the stage and let him talk freely, he can't do it.
Yeah, Chris had to bring him around.
Right.
But I've also seen him in front of older veterans and the elderly, and I've also seen him in front of groups where that's where it looks like he shines some of the time. Not to beat Trump, but that's where he shines, because where the debate the other night, when he was looking into the screen, he's pointing to America and stuff. He's just looking into the screen. He's going to be walking over to people for this town hall and looking at people and trying and doing that connection. Trump doesn't do that. Trump reaches people from where he is on stage. He brings people up to the stage, and he speaks the people's language from the stage. Joe speaks. I mean, that's why I said that both of them are different, but they're a little bit the same.
So MAGA Weather just dropped a bomb that I didn't know. I don't know if y'all know. Thank you, MAGA Weather. And I just looked it up on the Googles. Yeah, there's more than one Google, by the way. Steve Scully, CNN or C-SPAN, that's going to do the town hall. Mm-hmm. Here on Wikipedia, intern for Joe Biden.
That's okay.
I'm just saying it's just all incestuous. I know if you put the map up, and it's been done, where you show the connection, the relationships, and the connection to who's a reporter and who works at CNN, MSNBC. It's all incestuous. They're connected somehow in some way.
It's the seven connections to Kevin Bacon. That's the whole Democrat Party.
This is a direct connect.
Okay.
Biden.
Okay. Check this out. The reason why I feel the way I do about the little stuff, and I've mentioned it on my Twitter timeline, and I've lost followers because I take this type of tack, is because I don't get triggered off of that little penny ante stuff. That's what I think it is. And Bo Snerdley this morning said, our problem isn't the mics or listening devices. Our problem is that every election cycle, these debates are moderated by liberals whose questions are Democrat talking points or framed like what Democrats want. This entire debate commission is the problem.
It is.
And that's where I am when I am responding on Twitter and people get mad at me. No, but the wire, but the mic, we see it doesn't matter.
I said that yesterday. I said everybody's wasting time talking about all these smaller issues when we've got a bigger issue here. And you're right, the debate commission's a huge problem. Absolutely.
But to go down the rabbit hole of a possible wire that literally did nothing to help Joe Biden. I don't care if Joe Biden had a teleprompter in front of him and we found out later. It didn't do a damn thing, and it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It don't make no never mind at this point in time. You know?
The debate commission is pro-Biden, and that's the problem. The debate commission is not bipartisan. You know it. I know it. We saw it.
Yeah, 100%.
So what do you do? I mean, it's...
Well, when you're talking about the deep state and you're talking about the takeover of the government, this has been going on for a long, long time.
Sure it has.
And now we have technology that has exposed, the curtain's been pulled back and exposed a lot of this stuff, so much so that I've got a friend that works for the DOD, and he told me, he said the woman that sits next to him in his cubicle, and they just do contracts next to him in his cubicle all day long, she's screaming about how she's going to screw Trump somehow. The next chance I get, I'm going to screw him up. I'm going to this, I'm going to that. And whenever I get we literally have an entire generation that's cuckoo, that's been crazed, we've lost them. We've just lost them. How do you get people back that have gone over the event horizon? How do you throw a fishing line and bring them back over to reality? I don't have the answer. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, bro.
No.
What happened?
Quentin is stupid. Quentin is stupid. I'm sorry.
Quentin's funny.
Is he making jokes again?
Yeah, Quentin's making jokes. Big Paul said Trump handlers are the problem as well. Quentin says nothing can help Joe. He's a nursing home patient.
Running for president. Well,
Oh, damn it, right.
I mean, visiting angels.
Running a campaign.
Yeah.
And, so on a serious note, on a serious note, while Wayne laughs, is this really what we've come to? 2020, the election 2020, and we got a presidential candidate that's proven himself in the last 3 to 4 years to do what he says he's going to do, and he's done it. To make America great, he's done what no politician has done in 47 years. He did it in 47 months. He's running against a nursing home patient.
Yeah.
And half the country's buying it.
I sit back and I watch, and I'm just like, I can't even believe that there are people on board with this. Chris Como can sit there with a straight face. I mean, it really is laughable. It is at this point.
Cruiser is right on so many accounts. Watch Biden's 2011 debate with Paul Ryan. Lie, then laugh the whole time Ryan is speaking. I had never seen. Look, Barack Obama is one of the most articulate individuals to run out the time on a question.
He's a succubus. I'm telling you, he's half man, half woman, and he's a seductress. He seduced half the country.
What you got there?
My drink.
Did you spill?
Spilled his drink. See what happens when you start talking about.
About thing. So basically, what I was trying to say was Obama was one of those individuals that got out there and took all the time that he could just to answer one question. One question without getting any follow-ups or whatnot. He ran the clock. Biden is the first person that I know that won a debate by really never answering the question. All he did was laugh.
Yeah.
When he was going up against Paul Ryan, that's all he did. Just what Jay Cruiser said. Lie, laugh. All you saw was his veneers the whole time. And it frustrated Ryan because Ryan was like, we're supposed to be sitting up here debating.
Mm-hmm.
But he's laughing at me every time I answer. And Leah, you said that you went back and you looked at.
I did.
How many? There were a couple of times that he tried to do the laughing thing with.
Yes,
Trump.
I went back and I watched the debate again. This time by myself in a quiet place.
God bless you. By the way, God bless you.
Yeah, I had to watch it. I did it for the duty of the Wayne Dupree show.
The show,
I did it for the show. That's it. Right. I took one for the team. Yeah. I rewatched it, and yes, the laughs, the way he was looking down, shaking his head, the more laughs, and then this like little grin that he would do. It was more than 15 times that he did the laughs. And on top of that, I really thought it was weird that Chris Wallace would try to calm down Trump, I guess, by saying, Trump, calm down. This next question you're going to like. This next question you're going to like. Like treating Trump like a child. He had already a preconceived notion on how he should have treated Trump like a child.
And it shows the audience that thinks he's a child. That's an affirmation. It's a confirmation to people, Orange Man bad.
Right. Calm down. Calm down. You're going to like this next question. And I'm like, oh, he is? Okay, great. Let's hear it. And I'm like, Chris, that question sucks. Like, that question was just an attack on Trump. And I'm here to be fair. I'll call out both sides. But no, that was an attack on Trump. So as I listened longer to the debate, literally, the only things that stood out for me with Joe was, the obsessive laughing and the fact that he told the president to shut up, man. That, when I watched it the second time, it was worse. It looked even more disrespectful than what it did the first time. I'll be very honest. And when I say that, I understand that Trump can be rough around the edges and he says things too. But if you're in another country watching this and you hear someone who claims that he's not in office anymore and hasn't been for a while, therefore that's why he didn't call Portland and tell them what to do. He claims he's not in office. So at this point, he's just a citizen, right? And he says to a sitting president, shut up, man. I can't imagine the impression you get in another country. If you've already saw that Trump has created peace in the Middle East, that he's bringing the economy back, you're seeing all these positive things, and then you're hearing Joe Biden say, shut up, man. That makes him look so bad. So then when he said yesterday at his train ride, on his little hobo train ride that he's taken, he says the debate was so unpresidential. Literally, the only thing unpresidential about it was shut up, man.
Yeah, no,
the rest was goofy, but look at that.
Now you need the Trump bobblehead.
I do, but
you're saving for it?
Who was it? David Green said, I can't see your desk anymore. Where are the bobbleheads? I used to have these on my desk during the show, and this one fell off, so I guess I got to get another one. But I got
I love them.
Too good.
Yeah,
I could you want to cut off her head and then she'll be like a bobblehead? We can do that if anybody wants to. Get out of here.
Soak it in vodka.
Oh gosh. Yeah, from noon to 12, then it's like real life with her. And you soak it in vodka. I like your bobbleheads though.
Yeah, I used to. I gotta get some more. Or unless y'all want to send them to me.
Wayne, you need your own bubble.
Sent to me. I know. I try it, and it costs. It costs a little bit. It costs a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a lot?
And then we could change Brian into a chia pet, and you could grow out his beard and his hair. I think that would be actually cool. I think that would be actually super cool. Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, these were. I had the greatest followers. They used to send me T-shirts and stuff to put on the wall. As a matter of fact, Eric from the YouTube. Let me see. That's right here. Eric from the YouTube sent me this.
That's cool.
Oh, awesome.
And that's been up here ever since he sent it to me like way last year.
I must have talked about food a lot on my radio show because people would send me food, like a ton of food all the time.
Because
my favorite food's pierogies and birthday cake. I know that sounds crazy, but my favorite food is pierogies. So people would send me just gallons of pierogies. I don't know even know if you guys know what pierogies are, but
I will find out. I'll find out who made them. But yeah, I did go and see. You know what? I should get my bobblehead thing. So.
Oh, you guys gonna like the Google's got everything.
What?
The Google's got everything. You can send in a picture and get a customized chia pet bust, and it shows this guy from the head up. It's growing his hair.
I thought when you said bust.
Beard.
I thought when you said boob because he grabbed himself too, and I was like, "Why are you talking about boob?"
No, the bust.
I know, but you said bust, and you went like this and grabbed yourself. That's why I thought, where's he going with
like
this?
But for those of you who don't know what bust is.
That means something else right here. You said bust and grabbed yourself. I'm sorry. No. Maybe I'm a little.
Yeah, it's all right. They got Donald Trump chia pet.
Yeah, I actually got my mother one from a yard sale.
Yeah, it's.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have one for his hair.
Mm.
Actually, nice.
Okay. So, let's go around the news. Andrew Cuomo is blaming the feds for the nursing homes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. He said that he can lay down at night and rest his mind and rest his head at night and can sleep knowing that he saved lives. I can't believe that he actually believes that.
Well, when you
That's
tell
how
yourself,
narcissistic.
right, when you tell yourself a lie enough times, you can convince yourself of anything. Yeah, I mean, look at these people. They've convinced themselves Orange Man bad. So this insane communist is already brainwashed into believing that he is.
And you know what makes it even worse?
Hmm.
Do you know what even this is the cherry on top? He's decided for restaurants to open, you must write down your name and show ID for contact tracing, but he doesn't care about ID for voting.
Right.
What?
Right.
WTH is what I'm going to say.
Cammy from YouTube says he killed old people and didn't even bat an eye. He has no soul.
Nope. New York City, yeah.
Communists don't. I mean, look, over the century, the 20th century, communism, the idea of communism has killed well over 100 million, probably closer to 200 million people.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Let me tell you something. Some of the best comedians are at home. That is funny. Without Andrew Cuomo's mouth saying a word, his face says
it does.
His face says
it does.
COVID.
No, read it. Complete. But
oh my god, that y'all are some of the best comedians ever, man. Okay, so two major airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get that out of the way here. Two major airlines to furlough 32,000 workers, cite lack of COVID-19. So basically, what they're saying, they're going to shut down because they didn't get a bailout. So basically, they're holding out for a bailout. Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing for Disney. Disney
yesterday, right?
Disney was 38,000.
Yeah.
No, 28,000.
28,000. And remember, we talked about yesterday the cruise ship era, and I said I just don't see it coming back. CDC just came out and said nope, can't open up in October. And Robert's actually trying to convince the White House to shut it down for the rest of the year, long into next February or March. I just don't see it coming back. I feel terrible for the people that work in the cruise line industry. I think it's going to be one of the last things to come back.
You know, the last time I was in the airport, the only things that were really open were McDonald's, Wendy's, most of Taco Bell, most of your big name restaurant thing.
People who got deep pockets that can hold out.
Everything else is closed.
I'll be flying through CVG this next week.
Yeah,
on Monday. I'll do a scope in the airport.
Oh yeah, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at the way that nobody is still in these airports, and it really looks bad. CIA Gina Haspel is blocking declassifying critical docs related to the Russian investigation.
Of course,
unfair. I mean, of course. You know, I put out a tweet last night that talked about Hillary Clinton, and I said, you know what, guys, she's going to roam this earth free until she dies. I hate to say it. And I had some people trying to help me get positive. No, she'll get arrested. But at this point, they're all connected. Like I said before, it's 7 connections to Kevin Bacon, except it's 7 connection to the Clinton. I mean, we know guns don't kill people. The Clintons do. And still, they don't get arrested. I mean, that's literally their tagline. She's untouchable. Yeah. They're untouchable.
And Haspel, appointed by Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know. Right.
The guy can't get a break.
No, he can't. He cannot get a break.
Yeah.
Because he's exposing.
Just looking at her, she's like, I'm in charge.
Well, she has on the Nancy Pelosi scarf, so she's buddying up with NP.
California, Nancy Pelosi's nephew, Gavin Newsom, launches a task force to study slavery reparations. Now, last night when I saw it, I saw that they were getting ready to pass something, or they were thinking about reparations for minorities in California. The first thing that hit my mind is like California never had black slaves.
No, not like the South.
Yeah, they had Asian slaves, but they didn't have black slaves. So,
well, there's not going to be anybody left in California because they're going to leave because of all the taxes. Because in order to pay any of this, it's going to be a higher tax, just like they're doing with the cars, a higher tax. You're going to tax the people so bad that they're not going to have any money left. They're all going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't know if they passed it, but they talked about taxing people per mile.
Right. And then what does that do? That takes all the crazy, not everybody in California, because our California listeners, we love you. We know you're not crazy. But the crazy libs from California, what are they going to do? They're going to move out because they don't want to pay taxes. They're going to start coming over towards us, and then they're going to try to turn everybody blue.
Right. Thanks, MAGA Weather. Yeah, that just reminded me. He's pitching and wants no new gasoline cars in California after 2035.
Yeah, 2035.
Is he going to be governor then?
No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, California. I don't know if it's mayor or governor, but yeah, you can't. I think you can only serve 2 terms.
Yeah, well, which guy blew that out of the water because he served 2 terms and then came back.
The one before Gavin. Yeah, he was in. His father was in. He was in the late 70s and came back. He was as awful as the rest of them. They're all communist.
They messed up the water for California. His father messed up the water for California.
Oh, yeah. And now they're messing up the forests.
Yeah, the movie with from back in the day, China Syndrome.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
China Syndrome. Yep.
With Jack Nicklaus.
Yep.
Go watch.
Exactly.
I mean, you talked.
I saw the documentary on Netflix, but they kept referring back to that Jack Nicholson movie that you were talking about.
There's a little bit of truth to that movie.
Oh, huh? yeah.
I'm just saying.
Because basically what they did, they moved the way that the water was flowing through California. So if it was going straight through California, they purposely moved it to irrigate the fields for crops, but it created a shortage of water for everybody living in the city or in the country. So now people are paying big amounts of money for trucks that come in and bring in bottled water, and it's crazy. It's crazy how they did it.
Yeah, if you're caught watering your grass at least I know for a fact in Los Angeles, if you're caught watering your grass in Los Angeles, it's like a $500 fine.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that it's been such a gradual process that sometimes we don't even realize what's happening in California, but they are really becoming their own entity when it comes to things. They banned straws. And I try to get behind that process. Like, how do you ban straws, but yet the LA traffic is backed up for 17 hours every single night, causing major pollution?
Mm-hmm.
But yet banning plastic straws was this really big deal. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, it's just this mental weird thing. Like, how do you sacrifice one thing for the other?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. I think they just get these ideas, they run with it, and they get people to say, yeah, good idea, and then they just go for it.
Leah, I think that you said something about this earlier. The debate commission promises additional structure after uproar over opening night. President Trump was like, no, don't. But
yeah. I saw an article yesterday that said that the commission was looking into fixing it so that what happened won't happen again.
Yeah.
Well, they can't fix it with a human being. You cannot decide when Trump gets muted. And I disagree with that. I suggested that the microphones are shut off after 2 minutes, if that's what you want to give each one of them. Uninterrupted 2 minutes. Chris Wallace can't be yapping his trap. Okay. But you can't have somebody there that can manually touch the mute button. It has to be a 2-minute mute button that goes off by itself.
Yeah,
that's controlled by a computer, because Trump's going to try to say something and they're not going to allow him to. They're going to mute him. They've been muting him for 4 years. They've been muting us. They mute every conservative out there. This is literally the worst thing, because now they're actually using a real mute button. But again, we're seeing the true side of them, because they've been muting us and now they want to do it again. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. Also, I want to get your opinions on how now they're starting to say, hey, maybe we should vet people that want to run for president, so that way we never have another Donald Trump again. I think that's terrible. I think it's terrible. We're going to end up having some
vetting Obama for being a
they wouldn't
Marxist
care.
communist.
They would have let him in. They would have let him in, because that's what they want in this country.
Yeah.
They cannot do that. That's very scary.
Right. Angel Kors, who's a huge follower of ours, said that Jerry Brown from California.
That's his name.
Moonbeam Brown.
Yeah.
His sister, now the governor of Washington. Go figure.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
All incestuous.
Michael Keaton weighed in on the presidential debate, said that Joe Biden should no longer participate in the debates because he won. So go ahead and walk away.
The greatest Batman of all time. Damn it, dude. You had to open your mouth up. What a jackass.
What did he win in your mind? Because if he won in your mind, that's great. But the people are still on the fence.
That's why we have 3 debates. It's not just one and done.
That's how stupid Hollywood is. That's how stupid Hollywood is. And Hollywood doesn't even believe what they're saying. I don't know if you guys know this. I wanted to bring something up, and I'm going to be real careful with the way that I word what I'm about to say. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. But it does have to do with Hollywood. And it's interesting to me how Hollywood says one thing and does another. And I'm talking about Chrissy Teigen. This is okay. And I'm going to handle it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to handle it.
All right. I got the mute on you, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to handle it.
2 minutes.
So yeah, I've got 2 minutes, right? I've got 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you've just lost 10 seconds. You've lost another 5.
No!
Yeah.
Can I reclaim my time? Reclaim my time. Oh,
Brian,
screamed like that. I hated it.
Brian, let her. You really gonna like this question? How?
I need to reclaim my time.
Go.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
So go ahead right now.
Can I go now?
You got 15 seconds. You got 15 seconds left.
I need to reclaim my time again.
You just lost 30.
Come on, man. People, listen to me. People at home, listen to me. Who's that? Joe Biden. Okay. So anyways, we got to talk about this.
Listen here, folks.
Listen here, folks. So Chrissy Teigen and her political affiliate and her party say that abortions are okay for the whole 9 months. So you can abort a child up until birth.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So I need my partners here. Is that true? Confirm that with me. Okay. Yeah. So the Democrat Party believes in abortion. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Governor Northam, Virginia. Yeah.
Okay.
9 months. And when it's born, you can make a decision with your doctor.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. So
She did that for a reason. You know that, right? Good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lee.
So first off, my heart does go out to the little boy who was lost during Chrissy Teigen's pregnancy. In fact, she even gave what she calls a ball of cells a name, and she named him Jack. At the beginning of the pregnancy, I thought it was interesting because she said that it was a clump of cells. And I thought, oh, I never heard anybody refer to a child in the belly a clump of cells. I would always just say, oh, I have a baby in there. That's okay. I'm not going to, that's not what I'm picking on.
Can I feel the baby? Can I
Right.
feel the baby?
I don't say, can I feel a clump of cells? Even if scientifically it's a clump of cells, it's still a baby because it's growing, living, breathing. Okay. So Jack passes away yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And Chrissy puts on her Facebook account, I think she tweeted out that, and she put a picture of herself on the edge of the hospital bed in black and white crying. And then she talked about how traumatic it was for her. But for anybody who's going to say, well, miscarriage is different than abortion, she's saying it's personal choice, miscarriage isn't. Well, let me tell you something. During her tweet, she wrote a reference to baby Jack. She named the baby and said, Jack, you were trying, Jack, as if he had a soul. She was talking to him as if he had a soul. You, Jack, were fighting so hard to get into this family, and I'm so sorry that you couldn't be a part of it. Get to my point. I'm getting there, Jada. Wow, that's really interesting that she says that. I'm trying to handle this with kid gloves.
Right.
My point is, how can you weep for the death of a child if you don't weep for the death of a child? It's the same thing. Only because now it's happening to her.
Right.
Only because it's affecting her.
Right.
So my point is, Hollywood has double standards. It's okay to abort babies when it's not your own child that you're losing. It's okay. But as soon as they lose a child and they feel that pain, she wasn't crying for herself. She even admitted that she was saddened that he fought so hard to stay alive in her womb. She was crying because baby Jack was fighting so hard to stay alive in her womb. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, that question you asked speaks volumes. How do you weep for a child when you don't weep for a child?
How do you weep for a child's death when you don't weep for a child's death?
That's very telling. Yeah. Wow. I didn't even think of it like that. I mean, I didn't say anything about it. I saw it. I saw the pictures and stuff, and I didn't say nothing about it, you know. But yeah, I kind of felt the hypocrisy there too.
And again, she wasn't crying because she lost a child. Because I don't want people to come back and say abortion is a choice, miscarriage isn't. She was crying because she had a miscarriage and she was crying because of that. She was crying because that baby was fighting to stay alive in the womb. And that baby's life ended in the womb.
Yeah.
The exact same way the abortion plays out.
Yeah.
The baby is fighting for life in the womb. She just shed a tear for what she is voting against. Or for, I guess.
Hypocrisy knows no bounds.
No. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Lee. I meant to play this earlier before we leave, but President Trump was in Minnesota yesterday. Is that where he was? Where was he yesterday?
Minnesota.
He's been in so many states, hard to keep track of him.
So, you remember when I talked about the differences between Biden and what Trump talked about?
Oh, there's a beauty. Here we go. Here we go. There's another beauty out there. Go home to mom. Go home. Go home to mom. These are the same media outlets cheering violent demonstrations in the streets. CNN, the New York Times. They think rioting is just okay. Just do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to wear masks. You just riot. 25,000 people standing on each other's face. Do whatever you want. Can you go to church? No. Can you go to restaurants? No. Can you do anything? No. But you can riot. That's okay. Arson's okay, but challenging Sleepy Joe is totally off limits. So disappointed in Fox. I'm not just running against Joe Biden. I'm running against the corrupt far-left media socialists and communists in the Democrat Party and the special interests who've made a living bleeding our country dry. And that's what's happened for too long. We've turned it around. But don't forget, when they turned it around, I had to fight other things, like a fake impeachment. I had to fight a lot of things that are not like, that wasn't in the agenda. Never forget, and we fought it very well. And frankly, we had great support from the Republican Party, except for one person, but that's all right. We had great support. Never forget, they are coming after me because I am fighting for you, and that's true. And this is a choice election. Our opponents put America last. I put America first, and that's what I've been doing for 3.5 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
How do you how do you say that man's bad? How do you say that man's bad?
Right. I got
Name one group in the entire nation from law enforcement that's supporting you. Think Chris Wallace. Okay, let's go to the next question. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Let me protect him for Fox. Joe Biden says Antifa is just an idea. Well, ideas don't assault cops, and they don't burn down buildings. Antifa is a domestic terrorist organization. I proudly received the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police, the National Association of Police Organizations, the National Troopers Coalition, the International Union of Police Associations, and law enforcement organizations and departments in Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota. Good. I was getting worried. Texas, New York's finest. They've never done it before. They came in New York's finest.
Man, that's unbelievable.
Good. That's good.
That's unbelievable. I'm waiting for the next one. I think the next one's going to really, really crush it. I really think so,
I think
especially
it's
the town hall.
interesting too how Fox won't say Chris Wallace. They call him the moderator. And look, Greg Gutfeld, I think that his IQ is very high. I think he's funny. I'll give him that. And to me, he always seemed like he stuck to his guns and he wasn't really talking points, even on the 5, that he just kind of says what he wants. I was super disappointed to hear him not call out Chris just because they're on the same network. And that tells me, Greg, come on, man. Like, what's going on with you here?
Paycheck protection.
You're pioneer all this, but you're still listening to your producers too much. Yeah. Come on over. Say what you want. Say that Chris Wallace sucks. They can't do it. No. I was disappointed in that. Now, maybe I missed a clip. I don't know. But from what I heard, I mean, like I said, Greg. Greg.
They will not. There's no way.
But
there is no way
like
they're going to call Chris Wallace out. He's too much of a staple there.
And that
his
tells
father's
you
legacy and everything.
Right. And that tells you that the mainstream media is not going to get it out there no matter what, because they're always connected with someone. And I think that's why. Did you see that the ratings were down for the debate on mainstream media channels? That's because everyone's streaming it on podcasts like ours because they want to hear the truth. And they're sick and tired of the mainstream media. And that just proves it right there. Everybody was like, gee, I wonder why it was down. People weren't watching. No, they were watching. They're just watching on their favorite podcasts.
Somebody told me, a very trusted individual, well-trusted person. Like, this guy is, when he says something, I literally take it to the bank. He said that it broke the bank for people watching on the internet and regular TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Streaming.
Like, broke the bank on the internet and broke the bank on the on regular TV.
Oh, okay. So you're saying not cable. Mainstream. Well, the actual channels, they said, did not. It was way down. It was like 80% down from what it normally is. So.
Well, and thank you, Faye. Faye says, thank you guys for telling right.
That's what we're here to do. We just try to get out the truth and say what's right.
Yeah. And like like we said before, and we'll say it again, it doesn't do us any justice, or it doesn't put us in a better position to come on here and just lie to you,
right? And
tell you falsehoods and unicorn stories.
No, it doesn't.
It'll be a waste of our time to do that.
Yeah,
I ain't getting paid enough to do that. Damn it. And the agenda, if you will, is to get out the real news, to expose these people for who they are, and so that you know what's real and what's not real.
And we have no connections to Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
No.
God bless
so we're getting ready to go. This week has been one of those, and then I think next week has a debate too, right?
Tuesday. Yeah.
The vice presidents.
Pete. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing something? or no?
We can. I mean, I'm down for it.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, our viewers, I think our viewers would appreciate it. You guys want us to do something Tuesday night? What do you think, audience?
Yeah, want us to show up on Tuesday night for the vice presidential debate? Well, I knew Quentin was going to say yes.
Of course.
Ashley said yes. Sherry said yes. Kathy said yes. Tsunami Bob. I love that name. Tsunami Bob. That's great. Said yes. Magma Weather. What did Magma say? Oh, Maga, I mean.
Okay.
Yes, please do. Okay, so we're getting, it's all yeses.
Yeah, but
y'all gonna tune in?
I tell you what. I tell you this time we'll start at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, depending are you sure the debate's at 9? Because sometimes they go a little earlier. VPs sometimes go a little earlier.
We'll find out about Monday.
We'll find out. And then we'll just
Yeah. And then so how's that? Because that's 7 o'clock. I really thought the debate started at 8 o'clock when I'm
did you?
Yeah, I did. And then
okay,
I was like, woo, 2 hours. But the 2 hours went fast though. It did. I mean, the 2 hours went really fast.
Did you not hear me? I told you.
No, we weren't listening, Brian. We just wanted to we wanted to put you through emotional torture
to be on the show with us. We're sorry. We apologize.
Hey, I did get what, like a 5-minute break just before the whole thing started.
And Leah brings her Pelosi voodoo doll. I will. And if you want to donate to the show, every donation I'll stick a pin in her. Promise.
Oh boy.
I mean, it could be.
I don't know about that. I'm not going down. I can't touch that.
Why not?
No.
Stick a pin in her. Stick a fork in her. Get a real fork.
Stick a fork in her.
That's black magic.
Norman?
That's no good.
Mother?
Yeah, I know, yeah. All right. With that said, we do broadcast a show on Friday. That's on Censored TV. So make sure if you are on there, make sure.
They actually want me to stick pins in her. Like people are saying, hell yes, yeah, I'm in. Woo. You just never know.
Yeah, Pence is a debate specialist. Pence is a well-spoken, sharp.
That's what he does.
As attacked. It's his whole life.
He was born to debate.
He
has that calming demeanor. He's going to make her look terrible. Really, honestly, if people are on the fence about Trump and Joe, I really think if they tune in to Pence and Kamala, that you're going to see a lot of fencers jump for Trump. Jump for Trump. I like that. You're going to see a lot of fencers jump for Trump.
Yeah, don't jump off the cliff. Jump for Trump.
Jump. Yeah, you're on the fence and you're jumping to Trump. Jump to Trump. I like that even better. Yeah, I think that sometimes that could happen there.
Let me let's see. I'm trying to find out. I'm gonna let y'all know in just a couple of seconds. Okay. We are 380 Patreons away from 500. We have 120 patrons, okay? We're 380 away from 500. When we get 380 more patrons, then we will add a Friday show. You want us on a Friday? Get your friends to sign up for Patreon, okay? Please.
And we'll have to make it a unique show of some sort when it comes to like a giveaway or something. Like we'll have to do something fun like that. Like or we'll have like a fun fact. We'll do something.
Yeah, promise. I mean, we're really working on some giveaways. We really are, and we're still working on these too.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Everybody's asking for them.
Yeah.
I know, and I gotta get on the ball with that guy. So yeah. I do. That's I'll take that. That's my bad.
She will have Leah will have a breakdown on Monday.
I will have a mug update on Monday on what's going on there.
Mug update on Monday.
In fact, my mug is in my dishwasher, so I'm drinking out of clear today.
You know what?
I'm disappointed in myself.
I never wash it. It's always here.
I don't either.
It's always here in the bunker.
Yeah. I don't wash it. I mean, I got mold right now.
I've been drinking some red juice today, so it's a little red. It's all right.
Green mode, like chemistry mode. Like,
Oh, there you go.
all right.
Oh.
All right. So
Man.
we will see you on Monday. Y'all have a great weekend. Don't get in trouble, please. If there's anything that happens over the weekend and is newsworthy, you'll see us for the most part. I still think that Antifa and are going to start showing their asses really soon. So
Yeah.
Wednesday, October 7th, debate. Sorry.
Is that the presidential
what-
debate or the vice president?
VP. Yeah.
Wednesday.
I
Okay.
got it wrong. Sorry.
Starting at what time? 9?
Yeah, sure.
He has to look on the Googles. The Googles will
On
tell
the
him.
Googles, yeah, right.
The Googles will tell him.
Yeah.
He does not know.
So, Brian, didn't you say you voted for Hillary last election?